Hollywood is a brutal business. One bad movie, one scandal, one wrong move, and your career can vanish overnight. But for some, failure wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of an epic comeback. Today we're going to count down the top 10 greatest actor comebacks. The stars that Hollywood forgot to comeback kings and queens. Let's fade to black. Drew Barrymore was Hollywood's golden child, a star at 7, world famous by 9. But behind the scenes, it was chaos. By 13, she was in rehab, and by 15, she was legally emancipated from her parents. And by 17, well, blacklisted. Hollywood had given up on her. Then she flipped the script. Her shocking role in Scream made people take notice. The Wedding Singer proved she had rom-com charm, and Charlie's Angels made her an action star. But her biggest success? Well, reinventing herself. From actress to producer to talk show host, Drew Barrymore didn't just come back, she built an empire. Ben Affleck had everything. An Oscar, blockbusters, A-list status. Then came Giggly, a box office disaster so bad it became a punchline. Pair that with Daredevil and a tabloid-fueled romance with Jennifer Lopez, and Affleck was no longer taken seriously by anyone. He could have faded away, and instead he pivoted. He disappeared from leading man roles and stepped behind the camera. In Gone Baby Gone, he proved he could direct. The Town showed he still had leading man chops, and Argo won him a second Oscar. Suddenly, Ben Affleck wasn't a joke. He was one of Hollywood's most respected filmmakers. And when no one expected it, he became Batman, the ultimate redemption. Michael Keaton was unstoppable in the late 80s. Batman made him an icon, but when he turned down Batman Forever, his career stalled. Hollywood didn't know what to do with him, and Keaton spent the next 2 decades fading into obscurity. Then came Birdman, a film about a washed-up actor trying to make a comeback. Sound familiar? It was his story, and he gave it everything. With one performance, Keaton reminded everyone why he was a star. Then he became the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. And in the ultimate full circle moment, he put the cape back on for The Flash. Legends don't fade, they just come back stronger. Winona Ryder was the it girl of the 90s, quirky, cool, and endlessly talented. Then one mistake changed everything. In 2001, she was arrested for shoplifting thousands of dollars worth of clothes. It was everywhere, tabloids, late-night jokes, and just like that, Hollywood shut her out. For over a decade, she struggled to land major roles, and then in 2016, everything changed. With Stranger Things, Winona Ryder wasn't just back, she was leading one of the biggest shows on the planet. It wasn't just nostalgia, she proved she never lost her edge. John Travolta ruled the 70s. Grease, Saturday Night Fever, they were iconic. But by the late 80s, nothing. He was trapped in a string of bad movies and Hollywood had moved on. Then Quentin Tarantino called. One role, one film, and suddenly John Travolta was back. Pulp Fiction made him cool again. An Oscar nomination, a second wave of stardom. It proved that in Hollywood, all it takes is one perfect role. For a decade, Matthew McConaughey was trapped in rom-com hell. He was charming, he was predictable, but he was stuck. And he wanted more. So he made the boldest move of his career. He disappeared. For almost 2 years, he turned down millions. No rom-coms, no easy paychecks. Then when he returned, he was a different actor. In Dallas Buyers Club, he lost 50 pounds and gave a career-defining performance. He won the Oscar. True Detective made him a TV legend. The reconnaissance was real, and Matthew McConaughey was finally taken seriously. In the late 90s, Brendan Fraser was Hollywood's ultimate action-adventure star. Mummy made him a household name. He was charismatic, funny, and physically committed to every role. But behind the scenes, he was breaking down, literally. Years of doing his own stunts wrecked his body. He underwent multiple surgeries, knee, back, even vocal cord repair. But his struggles didn't stop there. A messy divorce drained him financially, and he spoke out about an alleged assault by a powerful Hollywood figure, and suddenly, he wasn't getting any roles. It felt like Hollywood had thrown him away. But Brendan Fraser never stopped fighting. He took small roles, worked on indie projects, and when The Whale came along, he gave it everything. His raw, heartbreaking performance won him the Oscar for Best Actor, but more than that, it was a victory for everyone who never stopped rooting for him. Brendan Fraser didn't just come back, he reminded the world why we loved him in the first place. Mickey Rourke wasn't just a rising star in the 80s, he was a force. He had the looks, the talent, and a dangerous edge that made him stand out. But Hollywood wasn't enough. Rourke wanted something real, so he walked away to become a professional boxer. It was a brutal decision. Years in the ring left him battered and unrecognisable. His once striking face was shattered. and by the time he wanted to return to acting, Hollywood had moved on. He took whatever he could get, direct-to-video movies, odd jobs, even sleeping in friends' spare rooms. For decades, it seemed like his career was over. Then Darren Aronofsky cast him in The Wrestler, and suddenly everything made sense. Rourke was Randy the Ram Robinson, a man broken by his past, fighting for one last shot at redemption. His performance was gut-wrenching, raw, and deeply personal. He won a Golden Globe and came this close to an Oscar. It wasn't just a role, it was his story. And for a brief moment, Mickey Rourke wasn't a washed-up has-been, he was a comeback king. Keanu Reeves has always been beloved, but after The Matrix, his career stalled. Sequels were divisive, his big-budget films weren't hitting, and studios started overlooking him. By the early 2010s, people weren't talking about Keanu Reeves the actor, they were laughing at Keanu Reeves the meme. But then came John Wick and everything changed. With brutal action, slick visuals, and Keanu's undeniable commitment, John Wick became a global phenomenon. It redefined him as a modern action icon, and the best part? Keanu never let fame change him. He still rides the subway, he still trains like a machine for his roles, and he still gives away millions to charity. Keanu Reeves didn't just make a comeback, he became the most wholesome action star alive. No Hollywood comeback is bigger than Robert Downey Jr.'s, because at one point, he wasn't just down, he was gone. In the 90s, RDJ was a critically acclaimed rising star, but behind the scenes he was battling serious drug addiction. He was arrested multiple times, found in random houses, strung out, sent to jail. Studios refused to insure him, and Hollywood gave up on him completely. He was done. Then he clawed his way back with the help of director Shane Black. He got a second chance in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Then David Fincher cast him in Zodiac. The talent was still there, but the world wasn't convinced yet. Then Marvel took the biggest gamble in movie history. They bet their entire future on a recovering addict that no other studio would hire. And RDJ didn't just deliver, he built the MCU. From a career that was left for dead to becoming the face of the biggest franchise ever. Robert Downey Jr. went from rock bottom to Iron Man, and I think it's the greatest Hollywood comeback of all time. Which comeback shocked you the most? Did I miss anyone? Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see any other top 10s of your favourite actors or scenes or any other kind of thing. And if you love deep dives into cinema, hit the like and subscribe button. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.